Hello, beautiful people in the world. I am your host, Essence.
And I am your host, Solandra, and you're now listening to Pre-Perspectives. Before we continue to this video, don't forget to turn on your notifications and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes. And to our Spotify listeners, don't forget to follow our account. And if you have a couple seconds, don't forget to review this episode.
Let us know what you guys like and how much you guys been liking it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's get into the topic of discussion.
The topic of discussion. Let me not get started because
it's definitely something that shook the internet for sure. Before we get into it, I just want to say that I just want to introduce the person that we're speaking about, because by our title, we're talking about the SexyRed lip glosses.
I'm sure everyone has, heard of them. They're pretty viral.
Yeah, she is a famous rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on August 19th, which was a Monday, SexyRed put out on social media that she was putting out a makeup brand called the Northside Princess, and she started by releasing eight lip glosses.
8. Don't get me wrong, they're pretty.
But you like the colors?
Yeah, the colors are nice.
Okay.
But I don't know about those names. Moment of silence.
Yeah. So the names are literally named after bodily fluids and STDs.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And there's 8 of them. So I'm sure it's probably like, even amount of numbers.
Yeah.
Of names. Yeah.
And
what do you think?
Well, before we talk about what I think, I feel like we should get into the comments section of X.
Yeah.
I found some really interesting comments that I would like to share. So one, it's called at Maystars. I hope I'm not butchering that username, but they put out on X, as a parent, this is beyond disappointing. How can you push this trash onto society, especially knowing that young kids look up to you? What happened to setting a positive example? This isn't empowerment. It's degrading. Our community deserves better than this nonsense. And then another one wrote, why though? You're losing me, sexy. This don't make sense, any sense, and it's not kid friendly. Where are you thinking majority of your fans based come from? Kids, mama. And I just want to say, like a side note from the comments, SexyRed is releasing like vulgar music.
Yeah,
she is.
She is.
So I don't think SexyRed is responsible for other people's kids,
or like responsible, of the adults making those purchases, because you have to purchase this. So at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, she's a grown adult and she's just trying to, do her magic, but I don't know about those names. Like, let's say, I mean, I don't think I would even be wearing one like that. Imagine somebody looks through my purse and they're like, "Oh, can I borrow your lip gloss?" And then they see the name. I'll be like, "I got up in there. Is it in a little, a little tube?" Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Or even, like, because they look really girly. They look like back then lip glosses.
The early 2000s
lip
glosses.
So the packaging, like, they're nice.
Yeah.
But I just don't know about the name. Let's say, I don't know, a little girl from, I don't know, middle school, elementary school, they take one to school and they're using it in their classroom or something. And then teacher's like, what the heck is this?
Yeah. They would definitely send that kid to the principal's office.
And it wouldn't even be like, towards the kid. It would be towards the parent. Like, what are you buying your child?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of crazy. And honestly, my standpoint, like my view on it, it's just like SexyRed is putting out this brand, Northside Princess, and the first thing that she starts with is definitely a conversation starter. It's definitely shaking up the internet for people to actually pay attention to her. And I think that's where she was trying to go towards, trying to get that shock value from people, especially makeup consumers.
Who doesn't wear makeup nowadays?
I know.
You know, it makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, another thing is, I don't know if this is going to be a long-term brand that's going to be around for years to come. Just because it's unserious. You know, when Rihanna put out her first brand, she started with foundations.
Yes, I was on those.
Yeah, and she took her time. She was very serious. She was
demure.
Yeah, she was. And you know, to have that be one of the first release, even though it's a conversation starter, it is bringing attention. They're not going to be thinking about you or taking you seriously in the future.
No, not really.
Yeah.
No. It's just like a trend.
Yes.
I would say.
Yeah. And trends die.
They do.
They come and go.
Who knows, like, eventually what she's going to be coming out with. I mean, the lip glosses itself are already shocking. So I could just imagine the rest of the, you know, the rest of the line and the rest of the names
that she has.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what are the rest of the names going to be? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even want to think about it because it looks like the girl's wild. So I
could only imagine those foundation names.
Oh no! That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah. I don't know. That's wild.
It is wild. It is wild.
And if you guys haven't, you know, looked into them, just read the names. Maybe when you see like the product, it's like, oh my god, you know, this is actually like a really cute lip gloss. But read the names.
Yeah, read the names. Do you want to play a video for them?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and play this video.
And I see.
Yeah.
I heard the QC in France. It's something that nobody would have ever thought of. I got one called Nut, and it's the color of some nut. I got one called Gonorrhea. It's green like gonorrhea. I got one called Yellow Discharge, like how girls be having yellow discharge. Booty hole pink, booty hole brown, coochie juice. And coochie juice is clear with silver glitter. It's cute, like the cute, and it smells good. And it's so like, you know, people gonna talk but other people was like, you is a marketing genius, cause the sold so fast. And it smell good too. I be thinking of all out the box. It's not even on purpose. It's just like my brain helped me think outside the box to do some crazy shit.
Okay. I want to know who purchased these lip kits. I also want to know how many lip kits did she formulate? Because you could say you sold out of something, right? But you could probably have maybe 100 kits in your inventory. You see what I'm saying? You have 100 or 1,000 kits in your inventory, and you could sell out because it's a small portion, right?
Those names are crazy.
Who is putting this on their lips?
Gonorrhea. Oh my god. I don't know about that.
And then she had the nerve to make them smell good.
Smell good?
I feel like it's desensitizing people.
No, yeah, it's
like, what is this? Why?
Not a lot of people are comfortable sharing, you know, what they be going through. So if you could just imagine, oh goodness, no.
It's just,
it doesn't matter how much glitter it has. I will not putting that little lippy on my lips. Poop.
Like Alondra, let me get one of those lipsticks or lip glosses. No.
I'm like, which one you are?
I got gonorrhea. Yo, this
booty hole. Oh my god.
Pick your poison.
I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I'm scared of like what the future holds for us.
Me too.
That's crazy.
Me too. I'm like something like that. It definitely should wake you up to what's going on.
You nobody. Let's say like somebody that doesn't know her, and they go, I'm not sure where her brand is that, you know, are sold. Let's say a lady just casually just buying lip glosses for Christmas gifts. And it's
Your
for
grandma.
her mom, her auntie, the grandma. Oh my god! I could just imagine.
The grandma going into Ulta or Sephora.
Like, oh, I like this. This smells good. Doesn't matter how good it's. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No.
That is crazy.
It is crazy.
But I mean, she did say like a lot of people are gonna talk shit, but
yeah. I don't think she's a marketing genius at all. I don't think.
No. I feel like eventually it's gonna die down.
It is.
But yeah, that's crazy though. That's wild.
It is wild.
I don't know.
It's definitely gonna die down. We're gonna forget about it. There's gonna be another shock value going on. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna stick.
No.
But that's what we said about Kanye.
Amen.
So
who knows? I don't know. I'm telling you, this world keeps getting crazier and crazier.
It is, Alondra. It is. Yeah. That's all we gotta say. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we really wanted to share that because we came across them and we were like, we should talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
It is crazy.
I don't know about all of that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But on another note, on another serious note, I wanted to talk about mental health, you know, and how important it is, especially when it comes to working on your own, having your own business, building that business, and getting to those certain goals when, you know, you have your business.
Yeah.
Or whatever whatever goal you have. Yeah. You know, it's a process. So I really wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Today, because I feel like me and you, we've both been on that rocky road to where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. You know, going through, you know, mental health, I've gone through so much just to get here today.
Yeah.
But when you're going through it and you're at your lowest, you don't feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, you know?
Mm-mm.
It feels like, you know, everything is going wrong.
Yes.
And
I would say that.
You made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially if you're an overthinker. I'm an overthinker.
Yeah.
I overthink everything. And you know, I came across a video. I'm not sure if this is, you know, true or not, but I came across a video that said an overthinker, the reason why an overthinker overthinks is because they lack the self-trust, you know, within that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it could just be with anything. Even, hey, is this product good? Like, is it not? Like, am I doing this right? Like, does my client feel comfortable? I overthink that a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? And it can eat you up.
It can.
Yeah, it really can.
Yeah. Also, you know, there's a lot on the internet, and I also found some videos that really, you know, it's controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been some people on the internet saying that depression isn't real.
Oh no,
depression isn't a real thing. It's all an illusion.
Maybe people experience it different, because I've seen scenarios, you know, where people have been depressed or are depressed, but they deal with it different. I don't know. Depression is a scary
place to be in, state to be in.
Yeah.
And this is the difference between, because I've also seen that someone said that depression is just sadness.
No,
it's not. It goes beyond that. When you're depressed, you have a chemical imbalance happening in your head.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in your frontal lobe. I could be wrong, because I'm not a scientist and I'm not like a neurosurgeon, but I've been looking and reading about this stuff. Emotions, the difference between depression and sadness is that emotions are fleeting. You can be happy one moment and sad another. They're fleeting. They come and go. But when you're depressed, it's crippling. You can't get up. You can't go to the bathroom. You can't take care of yourself. And it stems from something very, different,
Yeah.
than just an emotion. You're in this state, because I don't want to say emotion. It's a
No,
state.
it's a state. Yeah.
Yeah. And granted, you can overcome depression.
Mm-hmm.
I have overcome a sort of depression moving here to California.
Yeah.
Um, when I moved here, which was in 2020, the laws were different. Had just gotten my license in Virginia, but when I came here in August of 2020, um, I didn't meet the requirements of reciprocity. If you don't know what reciprocity is, please look it up. I don't want to go too in detail, but I didn't meet that requirement. And so I had to go through what I thought the whole entire process of taking my state board,
Yeah.
preparing myself for the written and the practical. Until one day I came into, skin etiquette, and Miss Raylene was like, um, look at this website. It was the state board
Mm-hmm.
barber and cosmetology website, and they, petitioned for that reciprocity law to be changed.
Oh.
Yeah, which allowed me to get reciprocity without going through taking my
The
state
whole
board
thing again.
again. Yeah, and that got me down, because I didn't practice for what, 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah, that's a while.
Yeah, imagine hitting that high, passing your state board.
And then feeling like stuck, because I'm sure you felt stuck. You're
I
like,
felt
what
stuck.
now?
Yeah.
You know, especially if you were in like an environment that you're like, I don't know anything. I don't know anyone.
Mm.
Completely, away from home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was.
Yeah, I was down for, a long, long time. You're right. I didn't have my family to
Mm-hmm.
go to. I couldn't just go to my mom's house
No.
and
Like, Mom, what? Yeah, it makes
no.
sense. Yeah.
And I don't want to get too much into it, but I was still getting to know my in-laws.
Yeah.
They didn't know me as well, so it was a lot. And moving, I do encourage people to move, but I do also encourage you to protect your peace, protect your mental health, because it's a challenge.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I would say I went some similar situation. I as mentioned before, I used to live in Arizona, and my mom lives out there. I currently live with my dad, so it would be a lot of moving around. I would always move. You see, like the difference. Like I would always move constantly, regardless if it was when I was like younger. I would move a lot of schools. So I didn't really understand what stability meant until COVID hit. After that, I made the decision to actually say, you know what? It's time that I want stability in my life. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
So, due to personal, I don't want to get too into detail, but due to personal reasons, I ended up moving with my dad. And I was struggling a lot with getting to know people. I know people, mainly my friends in the Bay Area, but here within myself, within my zone, it was kind of hard for me because I'm like, okay, I'm 18 years old. I'm freshly 18 years old. I was working on getting my license. I had a crappy graduation, and especially with high school, like I had a crappy year. If you're a graduate from 2020, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you probably had that COVID graduation.
Yeah, it was such a like sad end of the year. And when you're in high school, like they root, for you so you can go to college and all of that. But that wasn't the case. I wasn't really educated on that. Why? Because my whole year was taken away.
Yeah.
So when I moved over here, I knew I had my diploma and I knew I needed to get a job. And eventually I got my car. And then questions are asked, okay, so what do you want to do? Like, are you going to go to school? Like, what are you thinking of doing? I didn't know anything. So I'm like, I genuinely don't like school.
Same here.
I don't like school, and it's okay. I'm not saying like, oh, don't educate yourself, because you can nowadays. The internet is a big, big tool, so you can educate yourself on anything, regardless if it's like a short-term career or even if you want to go to college. Like, it's completely up to you.
Yeah.
And it's also okay if you don't go.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not something that should be
frowned upon.
No.
If you don't take the traditional route.
Absolutely not. So, yeah, then the whole idea of becoming an esthetician came around, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I was struggling a little bit when I first started going to school, because I would, thanks to my parents too, but I would pay my school for the most part. Like, I would pay
like on a monthly basis.
Yeah, with a minimum wage job and barely any hours. I don't know how I was doing that.
Yeah.
And I was 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19. Because after high school, I took a year off, and during that year, I didn't know what to do. I was genuinely struggling. I didn't project it to my family, but I was struggling, thinking like, okay, what am I doing? I feel so useless right now. School came around. I eventually got my license, but after I got my license, I took almost another year off. Why? Because I would always feel shut down when I would apply to jobs.
Yes.
Oh, you don't have experience. So I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to get the experience? Or I was also thinking like, okay, I'm going to try something maybe on my own. But even like my living situation, there isn't really privacy. So I'm like, okay, I can't do this here.
Yeah. And suites cost what, $200 a month or something?
It's so expensive.
It is expensive.
By that time I was already 20 years old. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Like, maybe I should just focus on getting another job, and in the meantime, then if esthetician works for me, then it's gonna work for me. And if it doesn't, then oh well.
Yeah.
But the lack of motivation I had was not okay, because I just relied myself on like, oh, I mean, eventually if it happens.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I was getting depressed, but
you were definitely feeling some sort of, down.
Yes, I'm like, I worked so hard for this.
Yeah. And I don't see the reward.
No, I don't see it. So I'm like, what? I don't know what to do, because I mean, nobody could really help me besides me if I didn't go out there. But that's something that maybe it's not really talked about before you start, even getting to a point where you're like, okay, I'm stable now. Mm-hmm. Even here, like working, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm stable. I'm going where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah.
But before that, it can be a really, really rocky road.
It is. And a lot of it's not talked about, you're right, because when you start beauty school, you are met with challenges. A lot of men drop out of beauty school because even though it's like a 6 months course or so, probably longer if you're going for your cosmetology license, but that is not easy. It's so fast paced, and you can drop out and get discouraged. And then they don't talk about after you graduate. After you graduate, you're out on your own. You have to get that job on your own. Mm-hmm. You don't have your director telling you where to put in your application. They're not they're not giving you they're not your reference point. No. They're not gonna be helping you
the whole time. No, like, I mean, especially at that point in your life, like, you're technically adults. Like, you're supposed to figure things out on your own. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was going to school too, everyone would start at different times, and I would get close to some girls, and the next thing you know, like, they stopped going, and I'm like, no, like, you're almost there. But it can be like such a rocky process of getting to where you genuinely feel like, okay, you know what, I made it, I am here. I'm really proud of how far we've came so far. Like, even with you guys, I'm proud of us.
Me too.
And there was a point where I'm like, you know what, maybe this is not for me anymore. Like, maybe I should stop doing this. But no, then you came along and I was like, you know what? Okay. I think it's, not me getting emotional.
No, it does get, because being an esthetician, you have to hustle. You have to believe in yourself.
You do.
If not, you can't survive, because there is another mile, 2 miles down the road, there's another person that's going to get all your clients.
Exactly.
Not saying that we compete with others, but you have to continue to believe in yourself and pour into yourself. If not, there's nobody behind you to say no. You got to clock in.
You got to hustle. And you can project that, to your clients. It doesn't matter from personal experience. Like, there's times where I'm like, okay, maybe I only have one client today. Mm-hmm. But I always think, you know what? This client took the time out of her day to book with me, so I'm going to give her my all. I'm genuinely going to, treat her like the queen she is.
Yeah.
It does not matter if it's just one client out of my whole day. It does not matter. At the beginning, I didn't understand it. I was like, man, I would get discouraged. I'm like, why? Like, why am I doing all of this just for one? But I'm like, you know what, Alondra? Reflect a little bit on this. It's going to be a reward afterwards.
Yeah, it is.
Eventually, that's how they come back. Why? Because they see how much care you put into them. They see that you're genuinely enjoying what you do.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that on my Instagram post recently, that I enjoy doing this. I enjoy helping people and making them feel, beautiful. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because it's not talked about a lot nowadays.
And I'm glad you brought that up. That one client on your book, that one client on your schedule that day. That one client can send 5 clients. Yes. Double the amount your way, because you poured into her so much. You really gave her. You weren't complaining. You were actually there. You showed up, and it'll unfold, and it will bless you, a lot more.
With maybe 5 more. Who knows?
Yep. But it is true. It's true though. It's like a fact, because I started off with one paying client, and I will never forget her. I had, models here and there for training, but I started off with one, and I got over. I have so many clients today, and I can see you. Like,
I'm
we
growing
can see
there.
each other on our
we
our
get to see like our clients, like, oh, like she has this amount of clients, she has this amount.
Yeah.
And I can say I feel blessed to say that I see the progress. Yes. I really see the progress. And I could just say so much like, okay, Alondra, you're doing something right.
You are
doing something right. I don't know exactly what, but you're doing something right.
Yeah, you are. Like, I had looked at your schedule, I think a couple weeks ago, and I was like, look at Alondra.
Yes.
Booked out for the day, booked out for the week. I'm like, yes. That's really good.
Actually, earlier today, at work, this client of mine, he always gets his eyebrows done, and he would get his brows done when I started at my house. Like, he was consistent. He would, like, here you go, like, always on time and everything, even if it was my home.
Yeah.
And I came across him today, and he asked me, like, oh, like, I see that you have a podcast now. Like, how's that going and everything? Oh. And I was like, oh, I mean, it's going good. It's growing. I see it. And he said, like, oh, I was trying to get my eyebrows the other day, but I seen you were so booked. So I was like, maybe I'll wait next week. And then you were booked again. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just wait to see you, or maybe for next month. And that, like, shocked me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting booked and people are noticing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you book, I mean, you could obviously tell, like, there's no slots open or anything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, okay.
But it's really good that
it's a good feeling.
Yeah, like, if you stick to it, stick to your guns, continue to, just pour into yourself. Before I went to beauty school, I was an assistant back in Virginia at Envision Salon. I want to put her out there because she has really poured into me. Like, I was her assistant. I worked at this place for I believe about 5 to 6 months, probably shorter than that. But I was at the shampoo bowl, I was cleaning the salon, and I was there. I was a helping hand, and there were some days that she has a full, salon.
Yeah.
With, I believe, 3 stations, but it was just her at the time. She probably grown since then, but it was just her at the time. But she kept the lights on, she kept the water hot, like she was doing her thing, and she's very, very talented too, may I add. And so there were days where she only had one client, and she probably didn't know or didn't realize that she was going to help me in the future.
Yeah.
But she still wanted me to come in.
Yeah.
And that one client, she would do her client's hair, and she would send them on their way. She was like, Essence, I still want you to come with me for the day. So we get in the car, we're going on to Sam's Club. It's like a Costco.
Yeah.
So we were going to Sam's Club. She looked at me. She was like, on days like this, you have to keep yourself busy and you have to pour into yourself. Yeah. So we went to Sam's Club to go pick up snacks for the vending machine at her salon, and she went to go get her nails done.
Yeah.
And she took care of business.
Yes.
She was like, even though I only have one client, I'm still successful, because she still had that salon that was bringing, and she had kids. She had 3 kids to support.
Oh, wow.
And she was still doing her thing. But that just let me know, even though I only have one client on my schedule, there's still work to do.
Yes, there is.
I can still do something to help pour into skin etiquette. I can still do something to help pour into myself on that day that I only have one client.
Yep.
Which she has helped me with that, especially in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be very challenging at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to say like, oh my God, the beauty industry is like so perfect and everything, because it's not. It has its up and downs. It has its seasons where you're going to be like, oh my God, where's everyone? And then you're going to bounce back and you're going to be fully booked. But it's such a work in progress. But the key to this is to not get discouraged.
No.
Be present, be there. Because it will, eventually it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It is. You're going to be okay.
January's coming up.
Yep.
January is always a slow month for estheticians, massage therapists. I don't know about cosmetologists. I know people still need to get their hair done.
Yeah.
But January
you can
is
see
so
it.
slow.
Yes,
yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
I know. I'm talking about my hair. I'm getting my hair done soon. But yes, I just wanted, to put that out there, because I'm sure, hopefully, there's esthetician students that are watching us. And I mean, I was just in school not that long ago.
Yeah.
So I could say that at the beginning, it was not easy. And then I would also see, like my other classmates, like they already had something on board, and I'm like, man, like it's not easy like that for me, So even just that, like, people are blessed, and that doesn't mean, you're gonna be left out within that. No, there's just other ways that you're gonna have to go around it to learn other things other than besides getting to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That are gonna help you along the way.
Yeah, you're definitely just as blessed as that person that got the job fresh out of beauty school. Just make sure that don't stay in that state of, discouragement. Whatever state you're in, sadness, whatever state you're in during beauty school, I really encourage you to, continue to show up, continue to put that work in, continue to believe in yourself and hustle. Because if nobody is going to do it for you, you got to do it for yourself. You got to show up for yourself, because your future self is going to be so happy that you did.
So happy.
So happy.
Yes.
So proud of you. And also, there's this thing that a lot of estheticians don't talk about, but burnout.
Oh, that can be a thing.
It can be a thing.
Yeah.
It really can.
It really can.
I was I think it was like 2 months ago or so. I was on the way to. This is a completely different burnout to any other jobs that you have. The burnout is, you're literally burnt from each end of the stick. And I was sitting in the car and I'm like, am I doing the right thing? I was literally talking to Jaime.
Yes. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, Landra, please focus. It can be a lot. It really can.
It can be. I'm like, is this worth it? I was panicking. I really was. And Jaime was like, calm down. I said, I don't think this is going to go out as planned. And still, like, I haven't had that burnout. And that's the good thing about this career. Even though you have those burnouts, they come, down the line. You're not burnt out all the time.
No.
It's just how every job that you have.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Has a burnout.
They do. Oh, yes.
So there is pros and cons to this industry. But if you stick to your guns and you continue to work,
you will get there. Yes.
Yeah.
Would I say I feel like I still have so much to achieve? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
But I can say, you know what? I'm proud of where I am now.
Me too.
But I want more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I want more too.
Yeah.
We both want more.
We both want more.
And it's in the cards for us because we're being consistent. We're showing up for. I feel like I'm showing up for you.
I'm showing up for you.
Yeah, those days that I don't want to show up for myself.
Yes, like, especially today. As you guys can tell, I look like I just came back from the gym. I had such a long day at work. It was a very stressful day. And I was looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I am so tired. I am so exhausted. But this is something that I have to do. Why? I can't let Essence down. I can't let myself down. And I cannot let these thoughts get the best of me. Like, regardless of what I'm going through, I'm gonna go do this. Why? Because I have to be committed and consistent with this, because I know this is good. This is something that I enjoy doing. It doesn't matter if I'm tired or anything, unless I'm sick. I'm not gonna get sick.
Of course.
I'm not gonna be like sneezing on you and stuff. But when they say, like, thug it out.
Yeah, gotta see it through.
Yep.
Gotta see it through, my girl.
So, it's like, at the end of the day, as long as I know that I put my best energy out there and I'm saying what I wanted to say, then I can't complain.
You can't. You can't. You're definitely blessed, and we do want more.
Oh, we do.
We do, and we continue to show up for each other and ourselves. We have to. We have to reap the benefits of all of this, work that we put on, into our craft of these podcast episodes.
Yeah. Like, without mentioning names, but yesterday, me and Essence, we hung out. We went to the movies. We watched It Ends With Us. I recommend it.
That was a really
good movie.
You started crying.
I did. I was like, oh my god!
I told you before I walked into the movies. I said, don't worry, I got a couple napkins in my bag.
You're like, God. But we hung out outside of Skin Etiquette. We hung out outside of Pretty Perspectives. Like, we genuinely had time to hang out, to get to know each other, and to just be Essence and Alondra. Because outside of, behind the cameras, mainly it's about
the podcast.
Yeah. But I recommend doing that. Take the time out of, work life or business life or whatever you got going on, and take time for yourself, regardless if it's with a friend or something. Be present. That's something that I learned on this book that I'm reading.
You were reading a book. What book are you reading?
I'll have to. Is Zen Monkey or something like that? It's a really good. Is it on?
Yeah, it is.
It's a good book. It has like different stories of wisdom, and it teaches you how to be more present and meditate. And there was a story about that. Like, a lot of people are not present, and they're either thinking too much of the past or too much of the future. And I struggle with that. I'm always thinking about the future.
Me too.
always thinking about the future, like, oh, what's gonna happen if I do this? Like, what's gonna happen if I do this now? Like, the outcome of it? And I'm trying and learning to be more present. Like, Alondra, you're fine, you're healthy, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're enjoying with the people that you want to enjoy with.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that day yesterday was totally needed.
My stress were just like, ooh.
We're doing your thing at that pool table.
Oh yeah.
You were doing your
thing.
Almost
got you guys. Right, Essence?
I'm sorry about that.
Okay. That's funny because when we first started playing, you told your husband, right?
What did I say?
Yeah, so her husband was gonna play. It was his turn, right, to play. And me and Essence were sitting down. Essence told her husband, "You better not hit me now," or something that.
I said, "Watch out with the pool stick. Don't hit me."
Next thing you know, it's Essence's turn. Keep in mind the pool table's right here. I'm sitting pretty far from it. What's the white ball called?
It's a white ball.
White ball. The white ball, the one you use, to hit the rest of them. It just bounces off the table.
I was trying to skip the ball. They showed me how to skip the ball a couple, months ago.
I was like, ouch. Did
it hit you?
It did. It did on
no
the way.
I didn't see it hit you.
And Jaime was like, this is your podcast host, co-host.
You can't be hitting her.
That was so funny.
And then I almost hit you again
with the stick.
I'm so sorry about that. I did not see you the second time, but I didn't know that I hit you with the white ball.
Yeah, it bounced off.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
I remember the second time I was like, all right, it's enough.
Yeah. You're like, yeah. I stopped playing.
Yes, I noticed
I was getting dizzy headed, and I was like, this is probably. And then the guy that was sitting right next to us was like, he was so scared. He was considering moving.
Yes, I think he did move.
He probably did. Yes, he did move.
He did move. He's like, red flags.
Red flags for sure.
We definitely had fun.
We did. We have to do it again. Not the pool thing.
No,
maybe we could go bowling before the movies.
Just not throw,
Yeah. Yeah, we should definitely go see Beetlejuice.
Yes,
I really want to go see Beetlejuice.
I want to go watch it too.
Yeah. It feels great in here.
But it was really fun. I feel like we needed that.
We did.
Because we've been like super consistent, and on top of everything that we have to do, that you're like, you know what, it's time to take a little step back, relax, enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to get my week started.
Yeah, me too. I feel refreshed. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And that was definitely well needed.
Yeah.
You're right.
But yeah, do you want to add anything else?
I think that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
I think this is something that it's good that we talked about,
Yeah.
Just because I know it's a huge topic nowadays. You definitely see it more nowadays. You know, people falling into depression and just mental health in general.
Yeah, I don't think the SexyRed Lip kits are good for the mental health.
I don't. It's maybe not like.
No, it's not good for the psyche. It's really desensitizing.
Yeah.
Please do not go and buy this kit.
Who knows? I'm not sure if she's gonna put it out again. I know it's sold out, but
yeah, they probably restocked it. I didn't look into it because I'm not a consumer of her things.
No,
her music or her.
No, I know a couple of songs because of TikTok. But,
yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah,
thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes,
to Pretty Perspectives YouTube channel. If you haven't already yet, go ahead and subscribe and turn on those notification bells. Like this video and leave a comment, and share this video with a friend if you care.
Yes, and for our Spotify listeners, please don't forget to rate our episode. Let us know what you think, and let us know, even on YouTube, comment. What do you guys do, to help with your mental health? Like, what is your reset activity that you guys do. I would really want to know.
Me too.
Maybe we can learn from them too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this episode.
Me too.
Well, thank you guys for watching and listening.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.